The Story of Enoch, the man who walked with God. Hello, welcome to Bible Chronicles. Today we will be talking about Enoch, the man who walked with God. The earth groaned beneath the weight of its own corruption. Shadows stretched long across the land as men grew powerful in their wickedness. Cities rose, adorned with gold and bronze, but beneath their beauty lurked greed, bloodshed, and pride. The sons of Cain ruled over these cities, their hands stained with the blood of their brothers. In the seventh generation from Adam, the world stood at a precipice. The heavens watched in sorrow as the children of men defied the commandments of the Most High. The Watchers, mighty angels once tasked with overseeing mankind, looked down from their celestial stations, and a temptation stirred within them. It was then that they made their fateful decision. But among the darkness, a single light shone. From the righteous line of Seth, a man was born. His name was Enoch, and from the moment of his birth, the earth itself seemed to take notice. The birth of Enoch. Jared, son of Mahalalel, paced outside his tent. The moon hung full in the sky, casting its silver glow upon the land. Within the tent, his wife labored, her cries breaking the silence of the night. The midwives whispered among themselves, their eyes wide with wonder. Then, suddenly, the wailing ceased. A hush fell over the tent, and for a moment, it seemed as though the world itself had paused. Then, the cry of a newborn broke the stillness. One of the midwives stepped forward, her hands trembling. She turned to Jared and whispered, "Your son. There is something about him." Jared entered and beheld his child. The boy's eyes, though new to the world, held an ancient depth, as if they saw more than was meant for mortal sight. His skin bore a strange radiance, a faint glow that flickered and faded like the embers of a dying fire. Jared knelt beside his wife and took the child into his arms. He looked into those knowing eyes and whispered, "Enoch, you are set apart." And so the child was named Enoch, meaning dedicated, for he was destined for a purpose beyond the understanding of men. Or a different child. As Enoch grew, it became clear to all that he was no ordinary boy. At the age of 5, while other children played, Enoch would sit in the fields, watching the movement of the stars, as if he understood their silent language. At the age of 7, he asked his father, "Who created the heavens? What is beyond them?" At the age of 10, he wandered into the mountains alone, fasting and praying, seeking the presence of the Almighty. Jared often found his son staring into the sky at night, whispering to something unseen. When asked what he was doing, Enoch would simply smile and say, "I am listening." Listening to what? His father wondered. But Jared knew that his son was special, and though he did not fully understand what was happening, he did not stop him. Yet, as Enoch grew in wisdom and understanding, the world around him grew darker. The sons of Cain built great cities, but they were cities of sin. The Watchers, the angels who once watched over mankind with divine duty, had descended from their heavenly posts, taking mortal women as their wives. From their union came the Nephilim, giant warriors of immense strength and terrifying cruelty. Violence filled the earth. It was in this time of rising darkness that Enoch received his first vision. The first vision, the coming judgment. Enoch was 25 when the vision came. One night, he wandered into the mountains as he often did, seeking solitude with the Creator. But as he prayed, the air around him grew heavy. A great wind arose, though the trees did not sway. The ground trembled beneath his feet, yet the mountain stood firm. Then, a voice thundered from the heavens, "Enoch, son of Jared, open your eyes." And behold, the sky split apart, and Enoch was caught up in a vision. He saw a great flood, waters rising higher than the tallest mountains. Cities were swallowed whole, their towers crumbling beneath the waves. Men screamed, clawing for the heavens, but the judgment of God was unrelenting. Enoch gasped as he beheld the destruction. "Lord," he cried, "why must the earth be cleansed?" And the voice replied, "The hearts of men are wicked beyond measure. They do not seek my ways. The time of reckoning draws near. But you, Enoch, my witness, you shall declare my words before the flood comes." Enoch fell to his knees, trembling. He understood now why his life had been different. He was chosen to be a prophet. And so, from that day forth, Enoch began to preach. He walked from village to village, calling men to repentance. Turn from your wickedness, he cried. The judgment of the Almighty is near. Some listened, their hearts pricked by his words. But many scoffed. Who is this dreamer? They mocked. Where is this flood you speak of? But Enoch was undeterred. For as he spoke, the visions grew stronger. Gore the watchers, and the hidden knowledge. One night, as Enoch prayed in the valley, a brilliant light descended from the heavens. 12 radiant figures appeared before him, angels of the Most High. Enoch, son of man, come with us. In the blink of an eye, he was taken from the earth. He found himself in a place unlike any he had ever known. The sky shimmered with a light that was neither sun nor moon, but something greater. Rivers of fire flowed through the land, and in the distance, a great throne stood, its brilliance blinding. Before it knelt a group of towering beings, the Watchers. These were the fallen angels, those who had forsaken their heavenly posts and mingled with the daughters of men. They looked upon Enoch with sorrow and despair. Intercede for us, they pleaded. Speak to the Almighty, that he may grant us mercy. Enoch was silent, for he knew that their sin was great. Then, a voice like 1,000 thunders spoke from the throne. There shall be no mercy. Your fate is sealed. You have corrupted the earth and led my children astray. You shall be bound until the great judgment. The watchers wept, but the decree was final. Then, the voice spoke again, but you, Enoch, shall walk with me. You shall not taste death, for you are set apart. And with that, the vision ended. Enoch awoke upon the earth, but he was no longer the same. His face shone with the light of the heavens, and his words carried the weight of eternity. He had walked where no man had walked before. And soon, he would walk where no man had ever gone. Enoch, the prophet of the Most High. The world had changed for Enoch. Since his journey beyond the heavens, since the moment he had stood before the Watchers and heard the decree of the Almighty, he was no longer merely a man. He had been given knowledge beyond human comprehension, visions of the past and the future, of the war between light and darkness, and of a day when the earth would be made new. But what good was knowledge if the hearts of men remained hardened? Enoch walked the land, his voice like a roaring wind against the stubbornness of the people. His skin seemed to shimmer with an otherworldly glow, and those who looked into his eyes felt as though they saw eternity itself staring back at them. Repent! He cried in the streets of the cities. Turn from your wickedness. The Most High sees all. The time of judgment draws near. Some listened. Others jeered. The rulers of the land scowled at him, for his words stung like a fire in their souls. One night, as Enoch sat alone upon a high hill, gazing at the stars, a shadow moved behind him. Prophet, a voice called. Enoch turned and beheld a man cloaked in darkness. His face was lined with age, but his eyes burned with an unnatural fire. You have seen the heavens, have you not? The man said, stepping forward. You have spoken with the angels. Enoch narrowed his eyes. Who are you? The man smiled. I am one who seeks knowledge. Tell me, prophet, what do the stars whisper to you? What secrets have the angels shared? Enoch remained silent, sensing the wickedness in this man's heart. You seek forbidden knowledge, Enoch said. You would use it for your own gain. You have been touched by the Nephilim, have you not? The man's smile faltered. What do you know of the Nephilim? I know they are an abomination, Enoch said. And I know that their fathers, the fallen Watchers, will not escape the judgment of the Most High. The man's expression twisted into rage. You would deny men the power of the gods? He spat. You are a fool. We do not fear your warnings, prophet. We will build great kingdoms, we will be as gods ourselves. Enoch sighed, looking at the man with pity. Then your fate is sealed. And with that, the wind howled around them, and the man fled into the night. The visions of the end. The years passed, but Enoch did not age as men did. It was as if time itself dared not touch him. His visions grew stronger. His spirit was often caught up beyond the veil of this world, where he beheld things no mortal had ever seen. One night, he was taken to a place beyond the stars. A voice, neither harsh nor soft, called his name, "Come, Enoch, and behold the fate of the wicked." And Enoch saw a great abyss, a chasm of fire and shadow. Within it, he beheld the spirits of the watchers, bound in chains, crying out for mercy. "This is their prison until the great judgment," the voice said. "For they have defiled the earth with their rebellion." Then, the vision shifted. Enoch saw a great and terrible city, where men worshipped false gods, sacrificing their own children to idols of stone. He saw kings and rulers who bathed in the blood of the innocent. And then, he saw fire. A great cataclysm, a storm unlike any other. The heavens cracked, and from above, a flood of destruction poured forth. Mountains crumbled, cities vanished beneath the waves, and the screams of the wicked filled the air. "This is what must come," the voice said. "But you, Enoch, are set apart. You shall not see death as other men do." Enoch fell to his knees, trembling. "Lord, is there no hope?" he whispered. And the voice replied, "Hope remains for the righteous. Though darkness covers the earth, my light will not be extinguished. There will be one who finds favor in my sight, and through him, the earth shall be preserved." And in that moment, Enoch understood. He saw the face of a man yet to be born, a man who would build an ark to escape the coming flood. "Noah," Enoch whispered. And then, the vision ended. The final days of Enoch. The people of the earth had seen many things, but never had they seen a man like Enoch. He had lived for hundreds of years, and yet he did not wither. His wisdom was unmatched, his words carried the weight of the heavens, and his presence alone brought peace. One evening, he gathered his family, his sons and daughters, his grandchildren and great-grandchildren. The sun cast a golden glow over the land as he stood before them. "My children," he said, "my time with you is short." A hush fell over them. "I have walked with the Most High," Enoch continued, "and he has made known to me the days to come. This world will not remain as it is. The flood will come, and the wicked will be swept away. But the righteous will find refuge." Methuselah, his eldest son, stepped forward. "Father, do not leave us." Enoch smiled. "I do not leave you as men leave this world. I go to walk with the Almighty." His family wept, for they knew his words were true. Then, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a great light filled the sky. The air became thick with a divine presence, and a mighty wind arose. A chariot of fire descended from the heavens, its wheels spinning with the light of 1,000 stars. The earth trembled as Enoch stepped forward. He turned one last time, his eyes filled with peace. "Remember the ways of the Most High," he said. "Walk in righteousness, and you will find life everlasting." And then, before their very eyes, Enoch was lifted from the earth. His form was swallowed by the light, and in an instant, he was no more. God had taken him. The legacy of Enoch. In the years that followed, the world descended further into corruption. The Nephilim grew in power, the sins of men increased, and the watchers though bound left their mark upon creation. But those who had known Enoch never forgot his words. His name was whispered among the righteous, a beacon of hope in the darkness. And when the flood finally came, when the waters rose and washed away the wickedness of the earth, one man stood upon the deck of an ark, looking out across the endless sea.